Thankfully. Juno? I wasn't sure I'd ever see you again, Avid. He smiles and they embrace. Avid is completely taken aback, as though he doesn't dare believe she's real. I'm sorry, I didn't make it to Sinkhorn. I ran into problems. Problems is putting it lightly. There's a mile-wide canyon practically splitting the world in two over those hills. Couldn't find a place to cross. Worse, dredge are practically falling out of it. Well, like blood from a wound. They're not coming from the north anymore, they're everywhere. We noticed. Glad to see you made it through alive, Ingmar. I take it the others didn't. Hagon becomes quiet, then he motions towards Juno. She got across somehow. I found her out for a second time since leaving Strand. We need every axe we can get right now. Bellower is here. Gods be damned, I thought I was free of that menace. I will deal with Bellower. Come on, no need to tempt him by standing out here. Nice. This game is very harsh and unforgiving. I hardly know if what I do is a win or if I will get a good ending or not. Well, I should have toned down the difficulty when I had the chance, so now we'll just go with the flow. Recon's caravan enters the city, fighting off waves of dredge as they go. To your relief, hundreds of skilled warriors are now safely in Borsgar. Hagon joins you on the wall with his personal bodyguard, Mogr. Behind him, the prince, Luden, stands alone, looking miserable. I have one last trip to make. I need one to come with me, she says, pointing to you. I'm sorry, Evid, but you must wait for me one last time. Do not let the city fall before I return. It takes everything within Evid's power to hold back, but he does. She turns to you. Rook, come with me. We will return in 2 days, maybe less if you are as quick as you look. Tell anyone who needs to know. Where? Why? Not far, says Juno. She pauses and something sticks in your vision just for a moment. I know it's hard, she says, her voice filling your head. And you've already been through a lot, she speaks again. The rest of the world melts away. But you'll need it. You can't find the words to argue. Okay. You don't remember leaving the city, but here you are walking through unfamiliar ground behind Juno. You're alone, aside from the hundreds of dredge who are all facing towards an enormous stone ahead. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. What's this arrow? Oh, I guess... I don't really know what it does. We're at the Godstone of Damn it! You glance nervously around, but the dreads didn't seem to hear her. It's okay, you can speak, softly. Is this where you're going to sacrifice me? Juno smiles. What could have come across you as profoundly creepy looks sincere instead. No, the dreads cannot see us. To be more precise, they can see us, but I've convinced them to be unconcerned. I can understand your apprehension, though. Who are you? I wish I had time for a proper introduction. My name is Juno. I am on the Mender Council. You've met Avid, my apprentice. How are you doing these things? Controlling minds. I thought Menders built things and heal wounds. You're right, Menders do these things. Some of us still practice the teachings given by the Loom Mother's first creations. We are called Valka. I believe I am the only one who can influence another's mind. Then why do you not take control of the bellower? I learned the talent to heal minds, not control them. Though even some Valka have trouble believing this. Taking control of bellower, it is the difference between convincing a child to sit still and telling a starving bear to stop being hungry. The truth is, we are rarely a match for the Sundr anymore. Our advantage is that we can train some Valka. It is also our weakness. The Valka pass on and lose their knowledge while the Sundr simply grow older and more powerful. I'm sorry for that, but I'm still a little sick. Bellower is both immortal and beyond my influence, to a point. Then how do we stop him? The God of Secrets will play a part, as will you. What are we doing out here? Do you know of the God's starves? Few know this stone exists, even amongst these who have lived their whole lives in the Borsgard. While Tumbler deals in the fortune, starves taught men the value of trade in a different way. You showed them it has consequences, two sides of the same coin. See the silver on the stone? The gales up here wear away the stone, but the metal remains. You need a price of this. You need a piece of this silver. The god starves is wreathed by imagery of silver weapons. The myths say he traded these weapons to the gods, and they used them to kill each other. Those who seek out the stone call him the god of trade. The menders call him the god of secrets. He was both. Why are we surrounded by dredge? They seem to have been drawn to the god's stone. There are many things we don't know about Stravs. Maybe they see him as a patron, or it is an attraction they cannot explain. Does Stravs have something to do with that serpent Eandorf? What was that thing? I cannot say. Can't? I have my suspicions, but until I've had time at the member libraries it would have been unwise to speculate. For all our knowledge, it always seems as though we know little. Imagine how the rest of us feel. On the contrary, the less people know, the more certain they tend to be. Juno is alright, why did you pick me? Why didn't you take Avid or Hakon? Or why don't you even know me? I apologize for putting you in danger. Avid must keep Borsgard from falling while we're away. And if something goes wrong here, I need to be certain one of us makes it back there alive. I saw the thoughts of each person when I arrived in Borsgard. You were the only one I knew would return. What do you mean? You find your way back to Alet, no matter what. Okay. Indeed, you'll need to dislodge, at least, a fistful of the metal. We will forge it to a new arrow to slay Bellower. Wait, after everything you've told me, make a magic arrow to suit Bellower. That's all it takes. Why don't you do that a long time ago? He looks like Bart from Lake Town, from the descriptions of the book Hobbit. He has the arrows and he will slay a big red thing with a magic arrow. Juno gets a faraway look in her eyes. No, that's not all it takes. What I tell you now must not be repeated. The arrow will not kill Bellower, even were it to strike his heart. He has no physical weakness. But it will sow doubt in his mind. Oh? When it pierces him, I will help him believe that he is dying. The rest of you will convince him of him with a sword and an axe. Everyone who fights at your side must believe it to be true. You're going to trick him into thinking he's dead. That's the most insane. He really can't be killed. No. Someday he will awaken and realize he's not dead. I imagine he will be quite upset. First, we must make the arrow. Focus on the task at hand. She looks knowingly at the godstone, awaiting for you to start climbing. Rook, I'm not certain how the dredge will react when you do this. And behind us is a sudden drop. So be careful. Okay, I will. Approaching the back of the stone, you start to climb, looking for a loose piece of silver vein. Even without looking out onto the dredge, you can feel its sinister face watching you closely, held back onto by Juno's influence. Panic races through your blood. Climb higher. As you climb, you can't help but notice the stony masks of the dredge lined up before the godstone, like worshippers before an idol. Just as a glimpse nearly immobilizes you. Your hand rests on a piece of silver that comes away easily. The dredge do not react. Look for another piece. While you're here, you glance quickly around to see if there is any more low-hanging fruit. You are able to pry away another, smaller piece of silver ore before your nerve gives out. You nimbly descend to where Juno is waiting. We're done. Well done, she says, as you walk back through the dredge. Their heads turn in unison to follow. The dread that lingers and the shaking in your hands does not subside for hours. Nice. Alright, what's so fucking ever? You approach the gates of Broadside again, relieved that they are still standing. It looks like they took a beating while you were gone. Alette rushes to your side and throws her arms around you once you crept through the gates. Juno smiles at the reunion and tells you, take this time with your daughter. Find the smith who can fashion an arrow from that silver. I have other things to which I must attend, but meet me on the walls when you're done. Alright, so we'll go to the market first. Not yet. Let's go to the heroes first. I see. There's no rest though. Crafters. It takes a while, but you finally find someone willing to craft an arrow for you. He eyes you suspiciously when you show him the silver, but shakes his head and gets started. Alette watches, the smith's fire reflecting into a distant stare. I talked with Vid a long time before you were gone. While you were gone. He told me all about Juno. Is she really as powerful as he said? Maybe too powerful, as long as she's on our side. Dad, I think I know what's going to happen now. An arrow. She's going to make you shoot bellower, isn't she? I don't know for sure. Come on, who else is going to do it? Ivor? Alette, I know where this is going. You're afraid of me dying. Things isn't like before. We can't run this time. That's not what I... Let me do it. That's not an option, you're my daughter. What do you do when bellower comes straight for the person holding the only thing that can destroy him? Let me speak. Everything's changed. Skogul feels so long ago. I'm not asking because I'm afraid of losing you. I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Let me do it because you know I'm a better shot. I'll have a better chance of puncturing his armor. We only have one shot. I'm not a child anymore, I'm not just some girl, I'm your daughter. I can do this for once, let me decide what happens to me. I can't put her in danger. She stares into the firelight. You wait for the tears to come to her eyes, but they never do. I just promise you we'll be together. You sit by her side silently until the smith finishes his work. Well, if something happens to the arrow bearer, I don't want that to be my daughter. Alright, heroes. Promote. Continue, continue. So now I can do this and this. Confirm. And we can give him... What can we give him? Yes, I'd rather have this one. I prefer to have this one though. Alright. So now I'll let promote. Damn it. Okay. Without further ado, let's talk to the lady. There he is. Juno is in the middle of an animated battle as you approach the arrow in your hand. There is little time left. Bellower knows we're here. Whether it is waiting for more of his forces to arrive or simply wants to starve us out first, I cannot tell. But he will not expect a direct attack. It is a joke. How are we gonna do that? I will take a handful of warriors to face him. I can keep a small group hidden from sight. The rest of you will lead the charge from here. With luck, Bellower will send his armies away from himself to meet you. What about ravens? They may protest. They will not. I've arranged a task for them. Even if you make it to the Bellower, what chance is there of defeating him? We saw what happened to Eanorf. That thing can't be killed. Juno shows them the arrow you had forged them from the Godstone silver. This will make him bleed like the rest of us. Once he's pierced with that, he will be vulnerable. Sid looks you in the eyes. We only have one. Do not miss. And bring only those who you absolutely need. It will take all my concentration to keep the other dredge from swallowing us up. I cannot join this battle. And if we kill Bellower, then what? The dredge will just wander away? That is my belief, yes. I cannot say for certain. This is a doomed plan. Help us hold out here until the steps are finished. And then what? Bellower will hound over our every step, all the way from Arbarang, where I'm certain some Sunder await. Now it's time to speak to the loved ones and the memory of any god that pleases you. Rest. In the morning we'll slay a Sunder. Alright. I'd like to go to heroes. This one. And I'll change this to this blind attacks never deflected. That means they never miss. I prefer to have this one, yeah. Alright, now who will I put? Alright, Mogor, Eric, Luden. Last one. No, I don't want this whiny brat with me. Alright, Rook. Map Alright, there's no resting place, so without further ado, let's kill this bitch. The silence is what you remember. You rise in silence and walk through empty streets. Upon the wall, two armies stand quietly watching each other. Your footsteps echo on the wooden floorboards as you approach Juno. She breaks the silence. It's time, Juno says. Gather your allies. Today one thing will end, another will begin, and our actions will decide on which side we stand. I think we're good. Oh. Yes, he's required in the battle party. Nice. I think one of the two is gonna die, father or daughter, and it pisses me off right the fuck now.